Oh my head, what a day. This is going to be like the coolest thing I've ever done. I'm pretty excited about this. Working with epoxy. Never done it before. Probably when I'm done, I'll wish I'll never do it again or something. I don't know. But again, we're going to be making a coffee table. And I have roughly set in some wood, but I'm going to change it around quite a bit. The first thing I have to do is it involves the clock. So that's the first step going forward. I already did a video, part one, of laying all this stuff in here. Now I'm going to take it all out. Okay, so we got to take all the wood out. All right. First thing I want to do is take all of these. All of these are going to be stained. So I'm going to put them all in this bucket and take them over to my rolling workstation and stain them after I do what I have to do with the clock. I'm going to set this clock aside for just a second and clean this out. There, now I'll just take a rag and wipe that down. I mentioned in the first video that I leveled the table. I've leveled it all the way across here and all the way across here, so it's perfectly flat. Because epoxy is self-leveling. So I've got to make sure this is absolutely clean. All right, so the first thing I have to do is remove this plastic. It's not glass, it's plastic. And from what I've read, epoxy can melt that. So, of course, that would be bad. So, let's, I guess it's like 4 screws holding that. Okay, so we'll leave this off until a later time. Let's see. Okay, great, that comes out of there. Probably some of you folks can tell better than I if this is glass or not. Around the edge, it looks like glass, but I just don't want to trust it. So I have about a 1/2 inch clearance from where the form, where we'll pour to the, basically to right this point. So if I go 1/4 inch thick, this is barely, maybe an 1/8. I think that'll be plenty strong enough. So I'm going to take this out, the clock part, and tip this up, put it upside down, and pour epoxy in there. All right, I have a scrap piece of coil stock. You can see it's kind of bent a little bit, but by the time I put some weight on it, I put that on. Nails, everybody uses nails, right? And who doesn't love a 3-pound sledge? You know what I'm saying? I want to try to get it as far to the outside as possible. I don't really care if some of the epoxy comes out on the sides, because there's going to be another 1/2, 3/4, maybe an inch thick of epoxy over the top of the clock once we flip it over. Kind of feels like I would like something more, some more weight on there. All right, first step. I guess there's been a lot of first steps, hasn't there? I need to get, they recommend putting some sort of a, this is paste wax. It's really stiff. I don't know if it's going to work or not. To put that on. It says it'll help it to lift off the form after it's cured. I was just reading the epoxy. It says it takes about 8 hours at 75 degrees to be kind of hard, and then if we get like quite a bit longer to be totally hard. So I'm hoping this will be good for tomorrow morning. That will be, it's I think around 2 o'clock right now. Okay. All right. I'll just store that right in here because I'll be using this again on the larger surface. Okay. That looks really tight. Okay, I guess let's batch up some some epoxy. After fully having read the directions, I feel I could probably do this okay. I hope these gloves are... Typically these gloves are not big enough for my hands. I don't know why. I don't think I have large hands. So there's a part A and a part B. And for this particular epoxy, it's a 1-to-1 mix. I have some other ones that are a little different ratio that I may be using on another project. So I did it. Sometimes you get paranoid after you read the directions about watch out for this, be ready to go to the doctors or the nurse or the emergency room if you do this or that. And I'd bought a rebar cutter years ago, and it gave these directions: put up a fiberglass tempered glass between you and the object, and it was all these precautions. And so I did as much as I could, and so I squeezed the rebar cutter. It's a metal, like sort of like a drill, except it comes through and it shears it off, and it was like so anticlimactic. Anyway, I don't know, that has nothing to do with this. Okay, so I'm going to mix in 2 cups the hardener, or the resin and hardener. There's a spout that's got to be pulled off there. It's a plug that's in here. So I've got to break that seal. Oh, okay. I thought that wasn't what I expected, but that's okay. I got to remember that this is the resin. Let's put that there. And this is the hardener. And I want to keep these separate as well, the caps, because I guess it would not be good to mix them like that. Okay. All right, that's that. Now the question is, for that area, how much do I want? I'm going to go 2 ounces each. Left-handed, so I got to, let's see if I can do it this way. Where is the 2 ounce? Right there. It says the fumes are not bad. Where are you? Oh, it's thick. I don't smell anything yet, so I guess that's good. I think I nailed that. 2 ounces. Okay, so I'm going to put the plug back in and everything. It didn't say to do that, but I'm just going to. Okay, now this one. Look for the 2 ounces. So they're both pretty thick stuff. Wow. Oh, I think I'm... Whoa, 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 whoa. Nailed it. Let's see if you can read that. Get it where you can read it. Hold it level. It says 2 ounces, and that's about what I got on the other one. Okay. I'm going to cap this one again. Oh, I feel better about that. Okay. I wonder why you have to use a separate cup. I'm just going to use 2 cups. I'm just going to let it go in. Hopefully it doesn't explode or anything. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. Let it drip for a minute. Let that run in. I'd like to see that come up to, where's the mark? I'd like to see the ounces. The stuff is so thick, it doesn't come out quickly. Still drooling. So I'll be ready to mix. It says to mix this for up to 5 minutes with this tongue depressor. I'm going to let that drip for a minute and make sure I'm ready over here at the clock. So after looking at this amount here, I'm thinking 4 ounces is not going to be enough, but I don't want to overmix it and waste stuff, you know. Still dripping, and right there, that line is 4 ounces, so it's almost perfect. I think there's still a few more drops in there. I think I'm probably going to have to do another 4 ounces. I don't know. Well, I'll know better after I see it poured. Okay, so this is a combination of the two. You can still see bubbles in there. Tiny bubbles by the sea. Nothing more exciting than seeing 2 things mixed together. Whoops, I wasn't supposed to do that. Supposed to leave it in there. Okay, well, I'll keep stirring, see if I can get it to clear up. I got an idea this isn't even close to enough. It's supposed to be self-leveling. A lot of bubbles in there. Yeah, I believe I'm going to do 8 ounces. Another mix of 8 ounces. So it'll be 4 and 4. It's not that hot in here. The temperature is 60 degrees in here. And they're asking for 75 room temperature. So I guess I'll have to turn the heater up. Okay, another batch. I have the my little portable heater to get the air bubbles out. I wonder if that'll help it spread. Oh yeah, you can see those air bubbles disappear. Helps it spread too. Okay, another batch. Okay, I want to fill it up above this rim a little bit, so I don't know, let's see. Wow, where does it all go? Huh. I have a big box fan running over there to just circulate the air without too much dust. I am going to do one more batch, just like that. Okay, again, I really want to see it come over the brim. There's a little rib inside, so I should see it when it does that. And it should self-level all the way around there. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. Yep. Nice. I can see it. It's overflowed right to here, and it started coming over this way. And then some over there. So the table does appear to be pretty level. I like that. I'll let this drip for a few seconds, and then I'll put the heat gun to it. That'll help it to level even more. It's almost met right here as far as overflow. So that was 10 ounces of each one. I did 2 batches of 4 and 1 batch of 2, just to fill a little area there. We'll see. Whatever it takes, it takes. Just put a light on here to see. Yes, all the way around. You can see a lot of air bubbles. Let's put the gun on it, the heat gun. Yeah, that brings those bubbles right out of there. I don't see anything leaking around the outside. Very nice. I like that. Okay, so I sprung a leak right there and just a little on the other side, so I added some weight. That seems to be holding it. Okay. Sorry to belabor this point, but it's really, this is kind of where I'm at with the epoxy. So it's good to know. This is where we are. So I guess I'm done for the day. The other thing, or the next thing, I'll be taking all of these blocks and I'm going to stain it so it's all a darker color, so it'll give a lot of character to the layout where the branches will be. Should be really sweet. Okay, so that's the next thing. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm done for the day. I'll be back in just a minute. It will appear like okay, it's 18 hours later since I poured this. Let's just see how it looks. I wanted to point out the form, this form, I caulked all the way around this earlier. Well, it seemed hard to the touch. Oh. 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 Yeah. Look at that. That came right off. That makes me feel good about what's going to happen with this one. You can see a film on there, a wax film. See if we can get that off. So that's still pretty pliable right there. I'll take a utility knife and just trim that off. All right, I have the clock frame exactly centered, and I've got some weight on it so it won't wiggle around too much. I'm going to silicone it down. Beautiful. We'll let that harden, and then we're ready to pour. All right. Now all the blocks are going to get a dark, all of the branch, the ones that are going to make the tree branches, are going to get a coat of poly on here. I mean, stain poly. Poly, want a cracker? Oh, that's going to be beautiful. Oh, that's bringing all of the cracks right out. Okay, we'll let this all dry, and I'm going to go over and check on the silicone that I put on the clock, around the clock, see if that's hardened up. Well, we are ready. We're ready. We're going to mix it up. So I'm going to dump both of those containers in. I don't have a paddle. I was just down at the hardware store. Would you believe it? I have 20 or 30 of these 5-gallon buckets, but none of them were clean. So I had to buy one. $6.99. Oh, okay. Let's do it. Well, I'm going to make myself right comfortable. Are we ready? I don't know if I am. I'll dump all of the hardener first. And you know what? I bet I could do both at the same time. This stuff is really thick. So it says this stuff is odorless and non-toxic. So I'm thinking I'm good to go. I don't have like a mask that's good for harsh chemical kind of stuff. I'll be adding a color to this. Wait till you see what that is. I put some new gloves on. Okay, so stir and stir. Okay, my colorologist, Sandy, my wife, picked out pink for the base color. Whoa. So I'll have to stir it in. Till we get the consistency, the color we want. It's more of a purple, I think. I'm going to put the whole tube in. All right, here we go. Well, it's definitely enough to cover the bottom. Beautiful. I'm going to set it like that and just let it drain for a while. Woo-wee, that is pretty. Wow. Okay. So the next thing, I have some swirls in there. Well, a couple. I actually like that. I'm just going to put the heat gun on it, let it get some of those bubbles out. I'm going to let this set for a little bit, and then I'll I'll put the limb wood in first to do the branch design. Okay, so that color may change because the coil stock that I used was a what was it, terracotta color. But boy, that is so smooth. All of the tree limbs I've laid out in the order that I want them. So I'm about ready to put those on to start the decoration. Should be pretty sweet. Hopefully this is the part I've been looking forward to. All right, let's get it going. Okay, so they are wanting to float pretty good. Looks like I'll have to adjust them periodically. Come on back. They're seating down pretty well now. So I'll be repositioning these for a little bit, it looks like. Now the other side. This is too much fun. I love this. All right, I'll start putting in the other pieces now. Once I make sure this is done wandering. Okay. The wood brought the level of the epoxy up quite a bit. Just want to make sure everything's done moving before I leave it. Then we have to wait probably a couple days for it to harden and go on to the next fill. So that's 2 full gallons of epoxy, miscellaneous wood. So the epoxy was about $40 a gallon, so that's $80. The clock was $40, $120, and I've got maybe 6 hours into it at this point. This one's wanting to float. Get up there. I'll watch that for a few minutes. I guess that's going to wrap up this video at this point. The next video will be, I guess, the final lift of epoxy. And then we'll strip the forms and see what we've got. I'm thinking the epoxy is going to add some color to these kind of bland looking pieces. We have ash there, maple. Might just be ash and a beech over here. So the beech has a really nice tight grain. Okay, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hey, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment if you don't mind. Thanks.